Oh my god, thank you, Miss Ralston, for that fabulous introduction. Okay, so guess what? I'm totes here with Hercules.
I'm Hercules. Hooah!
Okay, so Hercules, can you tell us a little bit about your childhood? What was that like?
Well, you see, my father, as you all may know, is Jupiter, or also known as Zeus. But my mom was mortal, so I'm a demigod. And
that's pretty hard.
Yeah, so Juno was the wife of Zeus, but she didn't quite frankly like me because I'm not her kid. So when I was a baby, she sent 2 snakes after me to try to kill me. That's no match for me. Strangled them, and I showed my mom. Mom was pretty happy.
I bet. I mean, I would be too. So, I'm sorry, but I just have to ask where you got this lion pelt. It's so cute.
Well, you see, I got this myself. See, because Eurystheus, he told me to go out and kill the Nemean lion, and so I did. But the pelt was impenetrable, so I couldn't hit it with a club or anything. The club didn't do nothing to him, so I strangled him to death.
You strong man.
And now I use his pelt for protection.
And it's so cute. Animal fur is totes in style right now, you know? So how did, what was shit? Okay, cut that out. So I know that you went on this trip to a swamp or something with your nephew. Tell me about that.
Well, it wasn't really a trip. Eurystheus wanted me to go out and kill the Hydra.
This king sounds demanding.
Yes. And the Hydra has 9 heads. It was hard to beat it because every single time whenever I cut off a head, it just kept on growing back.
I hate when people do
So
that.
I cut off all the heads, but one.
But one.
I caught it on fire and I shot it with poisonous arrows. It wasn't hard, but it was extremely hard.
I did that to people who are just really annoying. So, tell me about this golden staghorn thing. What was that all about?
Well, I don't really know what Eurystheus wanted it for, but he came and he was like, I want you to go get the golden horn stag. I'm like, okay, bro. So I went to go get it.
What happened?
It took me a little bit.
A little bit? Just a little bit.
I couldn't kill it.
Couldn't kill it.
So I brought it back to him. And I gave him it. I gave it to him.
Gave it to him.
There's your golden horn stag. Take it.
Really? So, I heard you saw your friend during that, little 4th labor thing. Wasn't that nice to see an old friend? Tell me about that. What was that like? What happened? Will you tell me?
Well,
I'm so curious.
the golden... What's the 4th labor?
You drank the wine and you got in the murdered village and then the...
Okay.
Out.
And well, you see...
I don't. That's why you're telling me. Okay.
You see here.
I don't. Will you tell me?
Well, Eurystheus told me to go out and go find the Eurymanthian bull, and so I did. Took me about I believe it, a year to do it. But I ran into my friend and I drank wine with them, and I went off to go and
That's always fun.
do something, and I came back and they were all murdered.
You know, that happened to me last Tuesday. It was not again! What the heck? What the Hades does a girl have to do to get some freaking drunk friends around here?
Well, I finally got the boar, and, I had to drag it back to the ship, and that wasn't easy. So I trapped it in the net. It wasn't very easy.
So I also heard that... Yeah, it is kind of hot in here. So I heard that you started, cleaning the king's stables or something? What was that like? That must have been hard, because cleaning is ugh.
Well, you see, it wasn't too easy, but it wasn't that hard. But you see here, I went out and I made this like little path for the river, and I made it to where like the river can clean off all of this all the whole dirt off the stable and everything, you know.
You're
Grant
so
the
smart.
fact that all those oxen were in there. May I mention there was 3,000. Wasn't easy and everything. Yeah.
You're so smart. So, I also know that you're kind of like a very noisy person at times. Like, how do you think birds react to that? You being all noisy and loud and stuff.
Well, actually, Eurystheus demanded me to go out and go kill off these birds that were terrorizing townspeople.
Well, that's not good.
And so, I couldn't exactly, cross over the river to the town because the birds were there.
Uh-huh.
So, I went down to Vulcan and he gave me these golden rattles. I rattled them. It was so noisy. And they flew away, but I didn't like that. So I shot them with a poison arrow.
Oh. Yeah, I did it to people who annoy me or who I just don't like. And those rattles, it's like Mardi Gras, yeah? Yeah! So, after all that, and after those little birdies flew away, and you shot them. Yeah. So speaking of Mardi Gras, I met this thing right there. It was so I have Creighton. I saw him at Mardi Gras, and I was like,
The bull?
Yeah.
Let me cut this part out.
What? Oh. She doesn't know her stuff, Miss Ralston.
Well, you see.
No, I don't. I don't see. That's why you're telling me. That's why I asked.
It was a stormy night. And I couldn't keep the ship on course, and my men were scared. But me, not me. No way.
Never Hercules. So big and strong.
But we made it there safe and sound. And I went to the king, and I explained everything to him while I was there. And he just, gave me the bull. But I had to drag that thing back to the ship. It was not easy.
Oh, must have been a little easy even for you, big, strong man.
Most definitely. Next question.
Oh. So, after this whole interview, did you want to, go horseback riding or something?
As long as they don't eat me.
What do you mean?
Well, you see, on one of my labors, King Eurystheus, he demanded me to go get Diomedes' horses. Uh-huh. So I did. It wasn't very easy, because Diomedes, he's a very cruel, rude man. Anytime, whenever he sees someone, and strangers that are going through his property and stuff.
No trespassers!
He would feed them to his horses. The man-eating horses.
Oh, yeah, I've got a unicorn that does that, too.
And, well, you see, I went there, and I demanded them. You wouldn't give them to me. And he planned to throw me for me to go to the horses and be ate.
Oh, Hercules, that is just so cray-cray.
It is. But his plan backfired, and he got ate by them horses.
Ha! Karma!
But after once he was ate by his horses, the horses became nice and gentle, and so I brought him back to Eurystheus.
Well, that's all good and great and stuff, but have you ever been in a war with Amazonians? I know they're
I have, actually.
Have you? Tell us about it.
Well, you see, Eurystheus' daughter, she wanted the belt that Mars gave Hippolyte.
Yeah.
Queen of Hippolyte, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see, Eurystheus, his daughter wanted the belt that Mars gave the queen. So I had to go down there, and I demanded it. The queen said yes, but the Amazonians, they didn't like that. So they challenged me to a fight. And of course, smart thing to do was bring an army of men. I won.
That's what I'd do. I'll just kick you.
But anyways, I won. And I got the belt, and I gave it back, and I gave it to Retheus.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow. You know, I wanted this, like, belt from, like, Macy's or something, and it's super cute. Do you think you can go and get that for me later?
No.
Oh. Man, it's, like, really hot in here. Do you think, like, the sun could just, like, turn it down a bit or something?
I could shoot another arrow at it. I could shoot another arrow at it.
Another arrow at it again.
I could shoot another arrow at it again.
Again? What you mean again?
Well, you see,
I don't. That's why I'm asking.
I had to go get Graham's cattle, you see.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have a ship. There was no ship to be found.
You see? Thanks, son. Okay, sorry about that, guys. You know, the sun didn't like that idea much, so...
What, shoot another arrow at it?
Yeah. Apparently the sun doesn't like being shot at.
But back to what I was saying before the sun went out.
Such a silly sun.
Well, you see, I had to go get Graham's cattle, but there was no ship to be found, so I couldn't exactly sail there.
Uh-huh.
And it was a very hot day, and I was very irritated, so I shot an arrow at the sun. And then the sun rewarded me with a golden ship!
Maybe maybe it was trying to throw it at you because it didn't like being shot at.
I don't know. But either way, I graciously accepted that, and on I sailed. I got there, and I demanded the cattle from Graham. He wouldn't give them to me. So, you know, I had to kill the guards that were guarding them, which were a two-headed dog and this, like, cyclops giant thing. And he unwillingly had to give them to me. So off I went back to Eurythus and gave him his cattle.
Wonderful. Got any apples? I'm kind of hungry.
Speaking about apples.
Not again.
Well, you see, Eurythus, he wanted me to go get some golden apples from the garden of... You see, Eurythus, he wanted me to go and get the golden apples from the garden of Hesperides.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to go get them, and I didn't know no one knows where Garden of Hesperides, so I went down to...
Oh wait, I do. It's just the left down there.
And so I went down to Atlas, because he holds the world, and everything. And I asked him, he said he can go get them for me. I just had to hold the world for him. I didn't really want to, but I had to anyways. It took him forever to come back. But the nymphs were his daughters, he demanded the apples, he finally got them, he came back after who knows how long,
Mm-hmm.
and gave me the apples, and I gave him back the world.
Mm-hmm. Wow, so you got the apples then?
Yes, I did.
Well, it's great. You know who loves apples? Hades. How's he doing? Haven't seen him in a while.
Well, you see, I don't really know what's up with Hades, but I have a story about what happened with me and Hades.
Oh, another story.
Well, you see, Eurytheus, he wanted Cerberus, and so I had to go get him. But the thing is, no one can go down the underworld if you're not dead. So I went down there, and this, like, old creepy guy, he wouldn't take me, so I had to beat him into taking me.
Oh my god, that must have been...
So I finally got him to take me, and I went down there. I went to go look for Cerberus.
Mm-hmm.
I found him, I gave him a cookie, and he fell asleep.
Oh, I love cookies. Was it like a little chocolate chip cookies? Those are my
I don't know. It was a cookie that made him fall asleep. So I brought him back to Eurytheus. He didn't want him. He told me to go take him back. And I'm like, yo, bro, no. You go take him back. It's dangerous down there. And then Hades popped up, and he's like, who took my dog, and why? And so I explained to him that Eurytheus took it. He told me to, and I got off. Thank goodness.
Uh-huh.
But Eurytheus got the punishment.
Well, that's great. I mean, you most likely deserved it, and, you know, you're just so brave and strong and great. So, you know, now that this interview's over and done with, do you think we could go out, get a cup of coffee or something? Or you can give me your number or something.
Nope, I'm good. See ya.
Wait, Hercules!